So I am back out with Matt, and we were talking the other night about thermals and things like that. And seeing as he's a Pulsar Pro staff, he's actually got a load of kit that he said that he would kindly talk through with me on camera so I could show you guys.
Alex the other day was talking about thermals, how he doesn't have one and what he should get basically. I'm, like I said, in a fortunate position to be on the Pulsar Pro staff team, and they send me kit to try and review and then send back. Now, the idea is that you are supposed to send it back. I haven't been sending it back, as you can tell, so I'm in a bit of trouble, and this probably highlights how much trouble I'm in. But I promised TJ you will be getting this back very soon. Now, to start off with things, with thermal, there's either two things you need it for. It's either for spotting, for stalking, or for night shooting, so foxes, vermin control, rabbits and things. I also use them and write them into my risk assessments for use for spotting public where they shouldn't be. Because with right to roam, with people walking dogs, you'd be amazed where people end up, and it can be bloody dangerous basically. So in terms of the kit you've got, you can either have a monocular, which is for one eye, or a binocular for two eyes. Now the monocular, which is the flagship product for Pulsar, is the Talion. Monocular is particularly handy if you're driving from a moving vehicle. You can have one hand on the steering wheel looking out the window. They're also quite nice and compact. They can fit in a pouch or a pocket, and they're not they don't impede you too much if they're just on a lanyard. Also for most daytime stalkers as well, if you have binoculars which you would use to grade and identify certain features on cull animals, having both a binocular version and your day binoculars could be quite cumbersome and heavy and a bit of a pain really. This sort of kit is perfect for daytime stalking and for night stalking as well if you want. It has an LRF function on it, which is excellent for telling you how far your quarry is, and you've got various different colour palettes which most thermals have now. The good thing about this thing is you can upgrade the technology and the firmware, so that once you buy it, really that's kind of all you really need, and it's a great future-proof bit of kit. Your very basic high-level breakdown on what you're looking for is looking for a good quality sensor and a good quality lens. Now, thermals come in different price ranges. I would say Pulsar are at the higher end of the price range, but for a very good reason, because they use quality products and quality lenses and quality sensors. Now, light transmission and thermal sensitivity is measured in something called millikelvin. Now, the lower millikelvin you get, the better quality crispy your images will be. Now, millikelvin can either be done via a quality sensor or saturation and color palette manipulation basically. Now in really nice, cool, crisp conditions that you would that thermals excel at, you will not notice too much of a difference. But when the conditions deteriorate and you get either high humidity or fog or warm weather, that's when you will notice the difference, and that will throw out sensors and it will make it harder for you to use. So personally, I'm a Pulsar fanboy. But even if I wasn't on the staff, I'd use this kit anyway and buy the kit anyway. So anyway, that's the lowdown. This is the XP sensor here, and it has the 50mm objective. Okay, so that's a nice large objective lens that will pick up plenty of thermal radiation, which is then transposed into via the sensor. Now, from the binocular version of this is the XP50, which is this one. Now, the reason I like binoculars is more for eye strain. Personally, I think that if you're looking through two eyes, you get a lot less eye strain than if you had one eye open persistently, especially if you're going from one eye, daylight stalking, and then moving on to the scope. Personally, I find it's a bit more strenuous. So even though these are more cumbersome and they weigh a bit more, and alongside binoculars, they are more cumbersome, I still prefer these. So for a binocular perspective, you'll find that these are they're a lot more user-friendly for my personal choice. So that's the XP50. You have the smaller version of this, which is an excellent bit of kit. 35mm lens, these XP35, same sensor, slightly smaller lens, again LRF, and fantastic for night shooting and stalking as well. They're nice and compact. You can adjust so no matter, even though they're a small product, you can still adjust the eye separation. So if you've got a big Swede like you, Alex, you can make them a bit bigger. If you've got a normal set head like mine, normal size, right? Then you have something a bit different, which is the Duo. Now the Duo combines the XP50 sensor, but it also has, as well as thermal tech, you can attach a small IR to the bottom of the unit as well. This will mean that you get both thermal sensitivity, and you can flick it with just a flick of a switch into like a standard IR version, so black and white. Now, while thermal will allow you to get a heat signature for something, the IR and the day vision and night vision side of things will allow you to get a more discernible identification. So individual features, like, so you may not be able to pick up antlers on a thermal, but with the IR you can pick up antlers. So in terms of identification, that's excellent, especially if you're sort of night shooting, or if you're trying to, in the woods, trying to spot something, and you can go from a thermal view to a positive ID. Now the next sensor up is the XT. Okay, now these are their flagship products at the moment. These are the XT50s. The definition you get on this XT sensor is just insane, and that's in a variety of weathers. You can see this one's looking quite well used. That's because it's my go-to one. I mean, I'm very lucky to have this, and I'm going to try and hang on to it for as long as possible. But this is a fantastic bit of kit. You will find the XT sensor does use up battery a little bit more, but with all these ones you can just pop the batteries out and replace them with another one. So it's got an internal battery and an external one, which you can replace quite quickly. In terms of monoculars and with additional features, this is, I don't know why these are not more popular in the UK. This is the Krypton. This is the Krypton 2 in particular. So the way these work is these fit onto a bayonet attachment onto the front of your scope. So you'll have a bayonet attachment which goes onto your scope, or day scope I would add, and then you can clip this on and it turns any day scope into a thermal. So if you were on a budget, and let's not beat around the bush, these things aren't cheap, and a monocular, a good quality monocular with anything is going to be expensive. This is the XG sensor on this one, and what you can do is you've got an XG sensor with a nice 50mm lens, and you can use this as a spotter, identify something, take this off, clip it on the scope, and turn your day scope into a night scope. So if you were stalking and you were trying to make the most out of your last 45 minutes, hour of daylight, and it's an overcast day, and on a daylight today we're going to be able to go right up till the max on the daylight, but on an overcast day you would not have that luxury. This could help you hit that cull figure if you needed to, especially on the lower parts of the trees and the shade and dappled shade. It's very difficult to pick things up on a day scope. This will make that easier, especially on things like muntjac. So that's a fantastic bit of kit. I don't know why they haven't caught on better. It's absolutely brilliant. Scopes are another kettle of fish altogether. With scopes you need to have positive identification as always before you take your shot. So whilst these will help you spot things, you've got to be sure that you can positively identify things. Now that's, again, with the sensors you have the benefit of the XP and the XTs and the XLs. With these, the technology is coming on so quickly, but you will still notice you still have to have some fieldcraft and awareness about identifying different animals, because they will move differently. Say a badger moves differently to a fox, but at range they may still look similar. So what I would say is make sure you can positively identify them. They're very easy and intuitive to adjust the focus. You can also use one of these Bluetooth adapters which clips onto the side of your rifle, so you can pair it with this. They pair automatically. You can then, if you don't want to be pressing your sensors and your buttons to do the adjustments, you can literally just do your fingers as you're holding the scope, make small adjustments to focus, zoom, change color palettes, everything with that. It's really, really, really clever bit of kit. This one here is the Duo. So as with the Duo binoculars, you can identify in thermal, and then you can switch to what would be a classic black and white night vision mode to shoot. This is day scope. This is I would say it's not you don't have the night vision version of this, so you go thermal and then black and white for day shooting. You can't go thermal and then night vision because there's no built-in IR, but maybe that's something coming down the line. Great bit of kit. And then you go down the range again. This is what's this one? This is the Thermion 2 XP50. Love this sensor. This is a fantastic bit of kit. You won't go wrong with that. The XL50 is the next grade up. Now these move in price on a steady grade up to the XL60, which is their flagship model at the moment. Now these all have a price point and they all have a price range. Technology moves on very, very quickly, but no matter which one of these you get, you are looking at years and years of service. They are very, very well made. This is just, the XL60 is just amazing. The diopter is completely different. The image feels a lot closer and a lot more comfortable on the eye. And it's, when I first looked through this, it was like I've been looking through thermal for the first time. It's absolutely amazing. Clarity of picture is fantastic. Zoom quality is fantastic. It's more expensive, but it's a phenomenal bit of kit. This is on my Blazer rail here, so it's got, I think it's goes A to F on the profiles you can add to it, so you can have God knows how many profiles, which means I can take this from my 17 HMR barrel to my 223 to my 308 to my 3006 to my 65 Creedmoor, and I can basically just adjust the profile and I can shoot everything from rabbits to wild boar, and it's absolutely bomb-proof. Brilliant bit of kit. So there you are, that's the range I've got. I've got to send them all back apart from this one and this one, so apologies Thomas Jacks, been a bit greedy. Amazing bit of kit. You won't be disappointed with this stuff. If you've got any queries or questions, just drop a comment below and either Alex or myself will come back to you. I don't pretend to know the ins and outs of these products. They are very technical, but they are fantastic. I know I've got a good support team behind me on the ProStaff team, and we can answer all the questions for you.
So we're actually going to go out on a stalk now, so look out for that video. Thanks very much, hope you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to tell a million people about my field to fork journey, so make sure that you drop a comment, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon for the next one.